Well, the first department that we are talking about is the CRM department, or Sales, Marketing and CRM, Customer Relationship Management department. In a sales department, whenever you receive an inquiry call, an incoming inquiry call, might it be through a phone or through an answering machine, you can have them recorded, and those recorded inbound inquiry calls can be converted into an audio format and can be loaded into the system. So what happens now is, whenever the quotations are prepared or proposals are prepared, these live recorded incoming calls or inbound inquiry calls are basically referred, and the proposals and the quotes are made. So it really makes sure that whatever was the customer requirement spoken over the call is really captured in the proposal and sent to the customer. So isn't that a novel way of capturing information and then using it for processing? The second one is in any kind of business development activities or in a sales activity, what generally happens is team from the leads or customers basically sit with you and discuss with you a scope of work. So these meetings are meetings which run for quite long, and there are a lot of things which are spoken in this meeting. It becomes practically very difficult for someone to put all of these in a piece of paper and then have it written down as a minutes of meeting, or compiling it together as a minutes and then sending it out and then forming the scope. So the easiest way out is you can have the permission with your customer to have the scope discussions recorded over a mobile phone, or there can be a proper recording device, and have that scope put into your ERP system, so that your ERP system becomes a repository of all the scope discussions, and those scopes or the digital audio files can be further fine-tuned to form a scope document. So you have all those discussions available, and you can go back to it anytime, and you can listen to the recordings and fine-tune your scope. And if there is any kind of misunderstandings in the future, well, the recorded file always gives you the solution to that. So that's one more way of basically putting your DMS to use for digital transformation. And the next one will be like chat messages. These days there are live chat applications launched in the websites, where customers interested in certain products and services basically come to your website and do a live chat wherein customer care agent or a sales agent basically answers all the questions that the customer has, and finally he gives the chat messages transcripted into a file to the order processing team or to the proposal team, which further makes the proposal based on the chat script. So the chat scripts can be exported to a PDF document or to a text document that can be stored in your ERP, which can be used for making the scopes, making the proposals, and further quotations and stuff like that. So that's one more way of putting your document management system to use. Further adding to it, if there are any customer expectations which can be expressed as lookalike pictures, images, photos, and if these images and photos are sent by the customer to you, then you can have them stored in your ERP system, and it can be put to use when you prepare your proposal, or showing the customer like, this is what you have asked and this is what we have quoted and stuff like that. So these are some of the few tips that you can follow by using DMS in your ERP to bring a true digital transformation. You can see that the amount of time reduced in referring to what the customer spoke, in referring to what the customer chatted with you, in referring to what the customer wanted, is all documented and stored in one place, which can be referred by various teams for various purposes to contact the customer. Let's see how DMS is put into use in the sales or the order processing department. One of the basic things that we can do is any customer orders, what we call as the purchase orders, or a letter of intent that comes to us through your through an electronic media like fax, or through emails, or even as hard copies, can be scanned and can be put into the system, and this can become your base reference, so you don't really have to maintain a box folder or a hard bounded folders where you put all these paper documents, and guess what, it becomes really difficult for you to maintain them and retrieve them when you need it. You will never find them. So these soft copies sent by the customers, like purchase orders, letter of intents, they can be stored in your ERP system, and these can be very helpful in future when you want to get back to the customer on certain aspects of the business or the purchase orders, or for that matter, even if finance team, which basically receives the payment, or accounts receivables, which receives the payment, when they receive it, if they want to cross check with what was the agreement on the purchase order, it's available in one single place, and this really helps you in a lot of ways. Well, that's about how DMS can be used in sales or order processing.